This is going to be a straightforward guide on how to beat the Root of Nightmares raid as a 3-man fire team. I'm assuming you've done this raid already at least once, so I'm going to just focus on the main encounters. The first encounter is fairly simple. You don't need this setup exactly. I am sure you can make this work with whatever you want to run. We ran 2 Warlocks and 1 Titan for this encounter. All you need is 1 person running and the other 2 on ad clear. Our ad clear used Void Warlock with Controverse and Solar Bonk Titan with Synthoceps. We had the runner as a Solar Warlock with Healing Nades and an Eager Edge Sword and Witherhoard, just to help out with ads whenever possible. Having a Warlock who can Sword Skate as a runner makes this encounter really easy, since it makes growing the seeds a very quick process. So quick sometimes I was able to finish a whole section of seeds before the Tormentor died, allowing us to carry the Tormentor into the next round, giving even more time, because killing the Tormentor will extend the Sweeping Terror timer, which will wipe you once it hits 0. Just make sure to kill the Scions as soon as they spawn as well. Then, just rinse and repeat for 4 rounds. This is one of the easiest encounters of this run. For this encounter, we had a Titan on Solar Bonk build with Synthos, 1 Warlock on Solar with Healing Nades and Eager Edge, and the other Warlock on Void Controverse. Pretty much the exact setup as the first encounter. This encounter requires some good communication. What you need to do is have 1 person as the designated runner for opposite side seeds. This was our Solar Warlock with Eager Edge. Now what this person will be doing is only growing the seeds that appear on the opposite side of where you grab the light or dark buff. To show you what I mean, this runner can start on either dark or light, it doesn't matter. You grab the buff, immediately take the cannon to the dark side, and grow the light seed. As you finish, grab the dark buff, take the cannon to the light side, and grow the dark seed. Those are the only seeds you need to worry about as a main runner, the ones on opposite sides. Now here's where communication becomes key. What the 2 people on light and dark side will be doing is killing ads and growing the seeds that appear on their home side. Now, a very important mechanic to remember is that if someone currently has a buff, like Flux of Darkness, and another player hits the seed to activate the buff again, it will disable all the dark seeds, preventing you from growing the tether and pretty much causing a wipe. So what the main runner has to do is call out to the side that they just came from as soon as they finish growing the seed, letting them know it is done before they shoot the buff. For example, if I finish growing the light seed on dark, I need to call out to the guy on light side that I am done, because they will need to activate the buff immediately and grow the seed on their home side in order to get this done in the time frame. So as soon as you come up, timer starts.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's freaking incinerators. I hate that.
Go, Jordan.
The fact that they're incinerators is so ass.
Yeah, keep your distance. Go, Godkeep. For this encounter, we ran 2 Starfire Protocol Warlocks and a Solar Titan with Laurel's Splendor. Once again, you should be able to do this with any setup, but this just worked best for us. We had the Titan on Sleeper with a Solar Weapon Surge, 1 Warlock on Taipan and Witherhoard throwing fusions, and I ran Anarchy with Riptide. Anarchy is very good, especially if you're running Starfire builds. Don't sleep on it anymore. The ammo economy is very good, and being able to spam fusions comes in major clutch in final stands, as well as just being able to consistently output great damage throughout the entire fight. This encounter is the toughest in my opinion, but I'll do my best to explain the strategy we came up with to get it down most consistently. Here's a quick rundown of the mechanics. There are 4 triangle plates on the outside of the room. Each one has 3 planets in very specific spots. You may have different callouts than us. We used flag, boss, and wall, but I've seen people use 1 through 6 as callouts as well. What you need to do is get all the planets on both sides of the room to be matching. To see what planets don't match the side they are on, kill the Centurions, those spawn the Lieutenants, then kill the Lieutenants to gain planetary insight. You then need to grab the buff below the planets that is the odd one out on your side, and communicate that spot with the player doing the same thing on the other side of the room. Deposit the planetary affinity buff into the spot that your partner communicated on their side. Do this until all 6 planets on the left are light and all 6 on the right are dark. Once that is done, you need to kill another set of lieutenants to see what planets you need to deposit on the plates in the middle of the room. We labeled them left, middle, and right from where you place the flag. Once you see what you need, you grab the 3 corresponding planets and deposit them in the plate that matched the planet's light or dark alignment above it. Now I'm going to break this down even more and show you the best strategies to beat this with 3 people. Now what I recommend is having 2 people aligning the planets, and 1 guy on add clear middle. We had our 2 Starfire Warlocks running the planetary alignments, since fusions kill everything super quick. And with the new fragments for solar, your survivability is amazing. Communication is super important here. For the runners on left and right, at the start of the encounter, you need to make sure you are in a good spot to take out the Centurions and Lieutenants as quick as possible. For right side, I like to stand in this spot on R2. On left side, I like to stand here. Now, you get Centurions to spawn by killing a bunch of adds in middle. Having Starfire really helps, since you can toss fusion nades all willy-nilly towards middle and help out add clear as much as possible, as well as kill the Centurions as soon as they spawn. Once the Centurions are dead on both sides, 2 Lieutenants will spawn on each side. 1 shot of Riptide and a fusion nade drops him instantly. Once I kill the top one, I immediately move to throw fusions and drop the second Lieutenant on the lower plate before grabbing the planets. If you don't kill them both, we found that your guy in the middle can get killed very quickly, so I recommend taking out both Lieutenants at once. Sometimes we were not able to kill them both though, but we made sure to communicate that to middle and opposite side, so they can kill it on their way over and be aware that it's still up. It's more important that you preserve time than making sure to kill the Lieutenants, because as long as you communicate that, it's easy for your teammates to help out. Not every run will be perfect. It's just very important to communicate here so there are no deaths. After you guys successfully deposit on the other side, make sure to communicate that and then shoot the crux in the middle of the room as soon as you finish. This will start the planetary alignment sooner, which will give you more time overall to do double deposits. We liked to swap R2 and L2 first, but you can start with L1 or R1 if you want. It doesn't matter. This was just comfortable and easy for us. So just kill the Lieutenant, and now you can see which planets need to be swapped. Swap them, then repeat that for the next plates. To start damage, communicate what there is a double of. For example, here there are 2 dark planets. This lets the guy in middle know where he should go, so he should go to right side and grab the planetary attunement there. Always leave the closest plates for the middle guy to grab. Then, just make sure to call out the right positions to deposit, and then deposit them. Once this is done, damage will start. Now one trick for damage is you don't have to be on the plate. Just walk through it, and you can stand anywhere to do damage as long as you picked up the buff. Just make sure you pick up the buff that aligns with whatever aura is around the guy. So, we placed our well towards middle usually, so we could grab the buff from one plate and quickly jump back into the well. Once you finish a full phase of DPS, just rinse and repeat. For Nezarec, we ran 2 Starfire Warlocks with a Laurel Titan. Survivability and add clear is more important for us, which is why we didn't run Crash. It's easy enough to do damage without a Crash for us. One Warlock ran Witherhorde with a Demolitionist rocket launcher, along with spamming fusion nades. The Titan ran a 2-tailed fox, and I ran Anarchy with a Heritage and an SMG along with fusion grenades. I am sure there are some crazy damage strategies you can do, but for now this is what we figured out and what worked for us, but feel free to experiment with your own setups, and let me know what works. Here's a quick rundown of the mechanics you need to know. To start damage, you need to complete all dark side and light side seeds on left and right side of the room. To give yourselves enough time to do that, you need to get a protection buff for light or dark whenever Nezarec does his wipe. So you need to have 2 runners and 1 guy grabbing Hatred middle. The guy grabbing Hatred will shoot his crit spots so he can tell us whether it's going to be Darkness Refuge or Light Refuge we'll need. So for example, if the middle guy calls out that we need light, the runner on dark side needs to grab a dark buff, run to the light side, and shoot one of the seeds that are finished that does not have the activation aura around it, as you see. Once you have a refuge buff, you can survive his wipe. Doing that will give you plenty of time to complete the seeds. Here's some tips for runners. Whenever you have a chance, throw grenades at the enemies that spawn, especially if a Colossus spawns. These guys can really catch you off guard and mess you up, so don't let them roam around. This is why I really like fusion grenades. I just tossed 1 or 2 of them at a horde of enemies and a Colossus, and it gets them out of the way real quick. Don't even have to think about it. For damage, we liked to use this plate on light side. Have the guy grabbing the Hatred kite him towards the start of the room, kind of where the flag is, before you start damage. Then, make sure to not back up too far from the front of the plate, or Nezarec will sometimes walk around the plate into cover, making it very hard to do damage. Cutting him back and staying at the front of the plate made him consistently stay in front for easy damage. Once you finish a phase of damage, just rinse and repeat, and voila, you're done. Hopefully this guide helps you, and best of luck on your trio run.